Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Planescape Torment, Enhanced Edition. Alright, let's continue exploring around, and that's was just an accidental bump. There was someone here at this book. Let's take a look at the book. This book is huge. It must contain thousands of names. Oh, and actually, before we do that, we've got this Receiving Room Logbook. Let's go ahead and read that. Receiving Room Logbook. Weight 2. This huge logbook lists mortuary procedures in a tight, crabbed script. All shells entering the mortuary are to be delivered to the receiving room and logged with the scribe on duty before being embalmed or cremated. The records are to be checked to determine if the shell is one of the contracted, and if so, do not prepare the shell. Move the shell to one of the preparation rooms, contact the scribe on duty, and notify him that a contracted shell is to be raised. Probably should say animated rather than raised, but whatever. Be certain that a shell is thoroughly stripped of its possessions before being sent to the preparation rooms. The contracted workers are intended for simple manual labor and do not have the capacity to search and strip a shell. The faction is not responsible for any possessions lost or items stolen by collectors who have brought the shells to the mortuary. The shell's possessions are to be stored in the receiving room until an initiate can be sent to claim them. Please catalog all possessions in the logbook. Following this list is thousands of entries of bodies that have been sent to the receiving room. As you flip through the rest of the book, however, you notice the last page has been cut out. Aww. It's almost as if someone doesn't want us to know who we are. I also picked up this weapon. Fist irons. Damage 2 to 4 crushing. Speed 1, weight 1. Proficiency fists. Not usable by mages. This crude iron bar is designed to slip over the fist, with the thick portion resting on the palm and the iron ring facing outwards over the knuckles. While wearing these iron fists, a single punch can shatter someone's jaw. Let's see. So that is piercing, edged, and we have proficiency, I think, in... Oh, we have proficiency in fist. Okay, that is actually good. Go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and use the punching. It does an extra point of damage, so why not?
I'm gone.
I'm used to now I'm used to Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition in the windowed mode where I have to scroll. I can't scroll with the mouse. So, all right, let's go ahead and talk to this fellow. The scribe looks very old. His skin is wrinkled and has a slight trace of yellow, like old parchment. Charcoal gray eyes lie within an angular face, and a large white beard flows down the front of his robes like a waterfall. His breathing is ragged and irregular, but even his occasional coughing does not slow the scratching of his quill pen. What's up, dude? Oh, Chief, what are you doing? I was going to speak to the scribe. You might know something about how I got here. Look, rattling your bone box with dusties should be the last thing. Before Mort can finish his rant, the scribe begins coughing violently. After a moment or two, the coughing spell dies down, and the scribe's breathing resumes its ragged wheeze. And we especially shouldn't be swapping the chant with the sick dusties. Come on, let's leave. The quicker we give this place a laugh, the bet. Before Mort can finish, the scribe's gray eyes flicker to you.
The weight of years hangs heavy upon me, Restless One.
He places down his quill.
But I do not yet count deafness among my ailments.
Restless One, do you know me?
Know you,
There's a trace of bitterness in the scribe's voice as he speaks.
I have never known you, Restless One. No more than you have known yourself.
He is silent for a moment.
For you have forgotten, have you not?
I have no option to say, yes, indeed, I have forgotten. But, who are you?
As always, the question, and the wrong question, as always.
He bows slightly, but the movement suddenly sends him into a bout of coughing. He pauses for a moment, catches his breath.
I am Dahl.
Perhaps you can answer some questions for me, Dahl.
Updated my journal. Very well. What do you wish to know?
What is this place?
You are in the mortuary, Restless One. Again you have come.
Before he can finish, Dahl breaks into a fit of coughing. After a moment, he calms himself, and his breathing resumes its ragged wheeze.
This is the waiting room for those about to depart the shadow of this life.
Tell me about the mortuary.
This is where the dead are brought to be interred or cremated. It is our responsibility as dustmen to care for the dead, those who have left this shadow of life and walk the path to true death.
Dahl's voice drops in concern.
Your wounds must have exacted a heavy toll if you do not recognize this place. It is almost your home.
Shadow of life?
Yes, a shadow. You see, Restless One, this life, it is not real. Your life, my life, they are shadows, flickerings of what life once was. This life is where we end up after we die. And here we remain, trapped, caged, until we can achieve the true death.
Well, only the petitioners, come on. True death?
True death is non-existence, a state devoid of reason, a sensation of passion.
Dahl coughs, then gives a ragged breath.
A state of purity.
Yeah, well, doesn't that mean that you'd just be merging with whatever deity you worshipped? I suppose unless, of course, you didn't worship a deity, in which case you might be screwed. Sounds like oblivion. Why would anyone want that?
Is it worse than remaining in the shadow of what life once was? I think not.
I see. I had some other questions. How did I get here? Dahl snorts in contempt, as if he finds the memory repugnant.
Your moldy chariot ferried you to the mortuary, Restless One. You would think you were royalty based on the number of loyal subjects that lay stinking and festering upon the cart that carried you.
I arrived here on a cart?
Updated my journal.
Yes, your body was somewhere in the middle of the heap, sharing its fluids with the rest of the mountain of corpses.
Dahl breaks into another violent fit of coughing, finally catching his breath minutes later.
Your seneschal Farad is always pleased to accept a few moldy coppers to dump the lot of you at the mortuary gate.
Who is this Farad?
He is a collector of the dead.
Dahl draws a ragged breath, then continues.
We have such people in our city that scavenge the bodies of those who have walked the path of the true death and bring them to us so that they may be interred properly.
Do you know where I can find this Farad?
If events persist as they have, Restless One, you have a much greater chance of Farad finding you and bringing you to us again before you find whatever ooze puddle he wallows in this time.
Nevertheless, I must find him. A slight warning creeps into Dahl's voice.
Do not seek out Farad, Restless One. I am certain that it will simply come full circle again with you none the wiser and Farad a few coppers richer. Accept death, Restless One. Do not perpetuate your circle of misery.
I have to find him. Do you know where he is?
Updated my journal.
Dahl is silent for a moment. When he finally speaks, he seems to do so reluctantly.
I do not know under which gutter stone Farad lairs at the moment, but I imagine that he can be found somewhere beyond the mortuary gates in the hive. Perhaps someone there will know where you can find him.
Doesn't sound like you like Farad much.
There are some I respect, Restless One.
Dahl takes a ragged breath and steadies himself.
Farad is not one of them. He wears his ill repute like a badge of honor and takes his liberties with the possessions of the dead. He is a knight of the post, cross-trading filth of the lowest sort.
Knight of the post?
A knight of the post, Dahl coughs, a thief. All Farad brings to our walls comes stripped of a little less of their dignity than they had possessed in life. Farad takes whatever he may pry from their stiffening fingers.
Did this Farad take anything from me? Dahl pauses, considering.
Most likely. Are you missing anything, especially anything of value?
His voice dips as he frowns.
Not that Farad would take exception to anything that wasn't physically grafted to your body, and sometimes even that's not enough to give his greedy mind pause.
Well, I am missing a journal.
A journal? If it was of any value, then it is likely it lies in Farad's hands.
Okay. I had some other questions. Can you tell me how to get out of here?
The front gate is the most obvious exit, but they will not let anyone other than the dustmen pass.
Dahl breaks into a ragged cough and continues.
One of the guides by the front gate has a key to it.
Oh, key to the gate, okay.
But it is unlikely he will open it for you unless you are extremely persuasive.
Okay. And do you know who I am?
Updated my journal.
I know scant little of you, Restless One. I know little more of those that have journeyed with you, and who now lie in our keeping.
Dahl sighs.
I ask that you no longer ask others to join with you, Restless One. Where you walk, so walks misery. Let your burden be your own.
There are others who have journeyed with me? And they are here?
Updated my journal.
Do you not know the woman's corpse interred in the memorial hall below? I had thought that she had traveled with you in the past.
Dahl looks like he is about to start coughing again, then catches his breath.
Am I mistaken?
Where is her body?
The Northwest Memorial Hall on the floor below us. Check the biers there. Her name should be on one of the memorial plaques. Mayhap that will revive your memory.
I don't know. I don't recall ever traveling with a woman. I don't recall ever traveling with anyone, actually, but... Dahl makes no response to this. He simply stares at you in silence. Before you said there were others interred here who journeyed with me. Where are they?
Doubtless there are, but I know not their names, nor where they lie. One such as you has left a path many have walked, and few have survived.
Dahl gestures around you.
All dead come here. Some may have traveled with you once.
I find no fault with your reasoning. I had some other questions. What do you do here?
I am a scribe, a cataloger of the shells, of all the shells that come to the mortuary.
Dahl coughs again, then takes a deep breath.
As long as the stream of corpses flows through the mortuary, I shall remain at my post.
You say that I have been here more than once. How is it that the dustmen do not recognize me?
Updated my journal.
I am the one that catalogs the shells that come to our halls, Restless One.
Dahl breaks into a fit of coughing, then steadies himself.
Only I see the faces of those that lie upon our slabs. The dark of your existence lies safe with me.
Tell me more about the mortuary.
This is where the dead are brought to be interred or cremated.
Okay. He's already done that. Let's talk about Sigil.
Sigil is our fair city, Restless One.
You sound ill, are you not well?
I am close now to the true death, Restless One. It will not be long before I pass beyond the eternal boundary and find the peace I have been seeking. I tire of this mortal sphere.
Dahl gives a ragged sigh.
The plains hold no more wonders for one such as I.
The eternal boundary?
The boundary between the shadow of this life and the true death.
I had some other questions. Alright, nothing. Farewell. Thanks. As you turn to leave, Dahl speaks.
Know this, I do not envy you, Restless One. To be reborn as you would be a curse that I could not bear. You must come to terms with it. At some point your path will return you here.
Dahl coughs, the sound rattling in his throat.
It is the way of all things flesh and bone.
Then perhaps we will meet again, Dahl. That is a lot of journal updates. Alright, let's see. There's a door up here that I think we can go through. I'll leave these corpses, these zombies alone. There's another door there. That is not actually something that I can walk through, even though it kind of looks like it should be. Let's go through here. Well, more stuff to loot. Nothing there. I will take the bandage. Nothing else there. Excuse me, zombie worker. Oh, nothing. The bandages covering this body are soaked with blood. Even though this corpse looks several days dead, blood still trickles from its wounds. Another corpse on a stone slab. There is no indication what the body died of. Nothing there. Did I look at this one? I did. Alright, do we have anything out here? Not really. Interesting pit here. Alright. You had a name up here? Well, actually. The stench coming from this corpse is truly nauseating. Someone split open this man's chest and has yet to remove the internal organs. Judging from the stench, the entrails of these disemboweled corpses are dumped here. This disemboweled corpse proves how far you can physically stretch flesh without tearing it. Iveen. You see a slight young woman with pale features. The sunken flesh around her cheeks and neck makes her appear as if she is starving. She seems intent on dissecting the corpse in front of her, prodding the chest with a finger. Hello? The woman does not respond. She seems too intent on the body in front of her. As you watch her work, you suddenly notice her hands. Her fingers are talons. They are darting in and out of the corpse's chest cavity like knives, removing organs. Hey, that's great. What's wrong with your hands? Yeah, I said, greetings. The woman makes no response.
I think the dusty chit might be a bit short of hearing, Chief. Let's lay off, shall we?
What's wrong with her hands?
Updated my journal.
She's a tiefling, Chief. They got fiend blood in their veins, usually cause some ancestor of theirs shared knickers with one demon or another. Makes some of them addled in the head, and addled looking, too.
Let's tap the woman to get her attention. The woman jumps and whips around to face you. Her eyes are a rotting yellow with small orange dots for pupils. As she sees you, her expression changes from surprise to irritation, and she frowns at you. Hello? She doesn't seem to have heard you. She leans forward, squinting, as if she can't quite make you out. Whatever is wrong with her eyes must make her terribly nearsighted.
You.
She clacks her taloned fingers together, then makes a strange motion with her hands.
Find thread and embalming juice. Bring here to Iveen. Go, go, go.
You've been assigned a quest. Quests are displayed in your diary and in your quests portion of your journal. To see all of the quests you've been assigned and their status, simply select quests from the journal menu. I had some questions
Updated
first.
my journal.
She turns away. She makes no sign that she heard you. Aw.
I think the dusty chit might be bit short of hearing, Chief. Let's lay off, shall we?
All right. Let's go through here, see if we can find what she asked us for. Oh, you know what I should be doing? I should be looking at all of these zombies. I did not do that. Come on, Mort. I know we're going back. Alright, Mr. Zombie Worker. The smell of formaldehyde emanating from this corpse is particularly strong. It smells like it was applied recently, and with good reason. This corpse appears to be in an advanced state of decay. Her jaw is missing, and some of the flesh has slid off her skull, revealing the number 1072 chiseled into the bone. I think this one's seen better days. The corpse does not respond to your voice. The fact that it has no jaw may have something to do with it. Either that, or it simply has nothing to say. Alright.
Psst. You see the way she was looking at me? Huh? You see that? The way she was following the curve of my occipital bone?
You mean that blank-eyed beyond-the-grave stare? Totally going for this one.
Well, are you blind? She was scouting me out. It was shameless the way she wanted me.
Wanted you to go away, maybe. She was obviously too distracted by me to pay attention to some stupid bobbing head with a big mouth. Oh, I think you're imagining things. She's a zombie, a corpse, a dead person. You probably didn't even register to her senses. I think you and your imagination need some time away from each other. I like that one.
Yeah, whatever. When you've been dead as long as I have, you know the signals. They may be too subtle for you to pick up on, but that's why I'll be spending my nights with some luscious recently dead chit while you're standing around going, huh? What's going on? Where's my memories?
Whatever, Mort. Let's go. The number 1201 has been inked on the forehead of this corpse, and the ink has run down its eyes, cheeks, and jaw. As you follow the ink tears down the corpse's face, you notice that it has run into the stitching sealing the corpse's lips and is caught on what looks like the corner of a note stuck in the corpse's mouth. Let's try to pull the note out. The note has mingled with the ichor in the zombie's mouth. If you try to pull the paper out through the cross stitches, it would tear the paper to shreds. Hacking up the corpse to get it at it looks like it will destroy the note. You'll need to find a delicate way to remove the stitches before removing the note. Use the scalpel to cut through the stitches. Gain 250 experience points for opening the mouth of this thing. You definitely slice through the stitches, sealing the corpse's mouth. and the jaw sags open. You carefully pull the note from the corpse's mouth. Despite the condition of the paper, the writing on it still appears legible. Note: to read notes, books, or scrolls, place them in your inventory, then right-click on them to bring up the information panel. Let's examine the corpse again. Sorry about slicing those stitches, just had to see what was in your mouth. The corpse's milky white eyes stare at you vacantly. Alrighty, and we've got a note from Corpse 1201. This is a foul-smelling note retrieved from the mouth of one of the mortuary zombies. It looks like it was sewn into the corpse's mouth by accident. Despite its condition, the writing is legible. Please, to whatever dustman reads this, I beg of you, I know of my legal obligation under the terms of the dead contract, but I am prepared to offer more than my signing fee if you will cremate my body rather than raising it. I have arranged for this note to be left with my body upon my death. If you are reading this, then please use this note as instructed and accept the result in exchange for my contracted duty. Let my contract number serve as the key. It looks like the corpse was too late to prevent the raising, but you notice that beneath the writing is a diagram. It looks like directions for folding the parchment into a strange pattern. Note: if you are ever capable of examining an object further or performing an action upon the object outside of the world screen, a use button will appear for the object on this examination screen. Okay, let's go ahead and use it. This foul-smelling note has a strange-looking diagram inscribed beneath the writing. It looks like it's instructing you to fold the corners of the note so that their points touch the center. There is a series of strange marks on each corner. 1 mark on the upper right, 2 marks on the lower right, 3 marks on the lower left, and no marks in the upper left. Okay. No marks on the upper left. So, upper right. Wait. Unfold to start again. Okay, so... So I wonder if that's the order that it should be done in. Let's see. Upper right, lower left. Upper right, lower left. Okay, nope. No marks on the upper left. Nope. Alright, what about 3210? 3 marks on the lower left. Lower right. Upper left. No, huh. Okay, we'll leave the note alone for now. I assume it's still in my inventory and I can still use it. Okay, well, yeah, I'm a little bit baffled about how exactly that's supposed to work. Let's see, I think that was 1201, yeah. Corpse is shuffling from slab to slab, bandaging the corpse's lying there. The number 396 is carved onto his left temple, and the lips are stitched closed. You notice the corpse is carrying a roll of bandages in its hand. Bandages look usable. Mind if I borrow those bandages? The corpse continues to stare at you. Try and take the bandages from the zombie. Gained item. You snake your hand out and take the roll of bandages from the corpse's hand. The corpse doesn't even seem to notice. It continues going through the motions of bandaging the bodies. And what about you? This female corpse is making the rounds from slab to slab in the room. Her hair is knotted into a long braid and looped around her neck like a noose. Someone has stenciled the number 1096 onto her forehead, and her lips have been stitched closed. Nice braid. Bye. There's another one down here. This walking corpse has the numbers 1094 carved onto its forehead. Its mouth has been sewn tightly shut, and the chemical reek of fresh formaldehyde hangs in an overpowering cloud around it. Despite the pallid, sunken features of this and lifeless, milky eyes, it is clear that this was once a handsome young man. So, seen anything interesting going on? The corpse continues to stare at you. Okay, well. I hope I didn't miss anything else with those second two that I defeated in the other room, but oh well. If I did, I did. That's the way it goes. Let's check out the ones here. The eyes of this corpse are set close together, and the eyeballs themselves are slightly askew. One face is to the left and the other to the right. You can barely make out the number 257 traced into its bruised forehead. It looks like the corpse has taken several blows to the head, making the number difficult to read. Don't you get dizzy with your eyeballs facing like that? Did I look at this? Yes, I did. This heavily stitched corpse is shuffling lazily back and forth between two slabs. The number 506 has been stitched on its forehead, and the side of its neck, and its right arm. In fact, the skin of this peeling corpse has been sewn up with so many stitches, its skin looks like a bizarre street map. Let's examine the stitches. The stitches encircle the corpse, running from its arms across its chest, up its neck, and into the damp mass of white hair. As you follow the crossroads of stitches, you notice someone has jammed a needle into the corpse's forehead. The needle is attached to a thread, stitching up the side of the skull. You could probably unravel it if you had something to cut the thread. Cut the stitches with your scalpel, then pull out the needle and thread. Okay. You slice the thread neatly with the scalpel, then pluck out the needle and pull the stitches out. As you do, the skin covering the forehead peels back to reveal the corpse's chalk-white skull, where, to your surprise, the number 78 has been chiseled. Seems you got two different designations there, corpse. Corpse stares straight ahead, oblivious. Alright, so we've got needle and thread. And I believe that is what I wanted. Let's see, but I also need embalming fluid. Hello! This corpse, 985, has stopped dead in its tracks. Judging from the condition of its left leg, it looks as if some sort of tomb rot or corpse mold has eaten through its knee. The corpse is wobbling instead of unsteadily back and forth, trying to keep its balance. Try and help the corpse balance. You reach out for the corpse's left arm to help steady it. As you grab its arm, however, the corpse suddenly sways to the right, and you end up tugging the corpse rather than steadying it. Uh-oh. There's a crack from the corpse's left leg, and the body falls like a dead tree. Its torso strikes the stone flagstones and shatters like a rotten melon. Filth and ichor gurgling from the cavity. To your surprise, no one seems to have noticed the corpse's collapse. And even stranger, the left leg remains standing where the body was, as if at attention. After a moment, the leg falls over with a wet thump. Ew. As you gaze upon the putrefied remains of the corpse, you notice that its left arm seems intact. It has snapped from the torso during the fall, and it doesn't appear to have been touched by the tomb rot that had spread through the rest of the body. I wonder if I can make use of that arm. Apparently, 1d6 crushing damage. Corpse limb 985. It is a club. Fun times. This arm snapped clean off corpse 985 when it accidentally toppled. As much as the corpse's knee was rotted through, it looks as if the combination of thick applications of embalming fluid and rigor mortis has made this arm almost as hard as wood. If you needed to, you could either use it to shake someone's hand from a distance or use it to bash their skull in. I wonder if that'll be a thing. No other corpses there. I think I looked at this one. Yeah. Let's check this room out. Another zombie worker. Bloodstains, rust, and other remains cover the surface of this metal slab. It is much larger than most of the other slabs and is sitting on a platform that allows it to be rotated. Okay. Hello. The shambling corpse gazes at you with vacant eyes. The number 821 is carved into its forehead, and his lips have been stitched closed. The faint smell of formaldehyde emanates from the body. So, seen anything interesting going on? As you address the zombie, it blinks in surprise. What? You're not a zombie. Who are you?
Updated my journal.
The zombie is trying to respond behind stitched lips. He has a peculiar half-frightened, half-angry expression. Who are you? What you want? I'm looking for a way out of here. Can you help me? The zombie doesn't seem to have heard you. He looks you up and down for a few moments and frowns. What you do here? His eyes narrow suspiciously. Are you spy on Dusty's? No, I'm trying to escape. The zombie seems interested. Are you in trouble? What you do? I woke up on one of the slabs upstairs. The zombie's looking at you like you're crazy. You barmy? Yes, I am barmy. Very barmy. No. I know it's hard to believe, but I'm not going to lie to you. I woke up from the dead on one of the slabs upstairs. He looks at you, then hisses and makes a shooing motion. You barmy, go away from me. I'm not going anywhere. Tell me what you're doing here, or I'll call the guards. There must be something in your eye that makes the zombie's expression crumble. No, don't call the guards. He looks frightened. Me spy on Dusty's. See what I see, nothing more. Spy? For who? The zombie falls into a frightened silence. He seems unwilling to say more. Come on, who are you watching this place for? Hold on. Mort sounds surprised. This Burke must be an anarchist. Posing as a zombie's got to be a first for those adult sods. Anarchists?
Updated my journal.
Anarchists. They're a faction that wastes their time peeping on authority figures and looking for ways to tear down anything that stinks of order or control. Mort snorts. The anarchists think every Burke across the plains will be free and happy to seek out their own truth once the establishment is burned to the ground. They want to establish a new order. No order at all. Truth. That seems like a very noble pursuit. Order could use a good tearing down every once in a while. Seems pretty contradictory. That has to be one of the most stupid things I've ever heard. Yeah, that seems pretty contradictory. The zombie is watching you both fearfully. He is still silent, but something in his expression tells you Mort's guess was right on the mark. Anarchists, huh? That who you're watching this place for? To your surprise, the zombie turns away from you. He is starting to glance around fearfully. Never mind then. What have you seen the dustmen do? Nothing. They do nothing. Can't find nothing. Dead. Just dead people. Dusties do nothing. Eyes narrow in conviction. Still I watch. I see. There was something else I wanted to ask you. Do you know someone named Farad? Farad? The zombie frowns briefly in thought. Here he lives in high somewhere. He shakes his head. Not nowhere. He frowns again. Dusty's very mad. That they not like Farad. Why don't the dustmen like Farad?
Updated my journal.
He's a collector. Brings debtors to mortuary. Sells them to dustmen. Brings a lot of debtors. Dusty's not know where he gets debtors. Think he's putting Burks in the dead book.
What? He's saying this Farad Burke has been selling a lot of debtors, corpses, to the dustmen. That's what collectors do. They gather dead bodies and sell them to the dustmen. Sounds like this Farad's been selling so many debtors that the Dusties think he's been putting hivers in the dead book before their hour's up. You know, killing people. I see. There was something else I wanted to know. Can you tell me anything about Doll?
Scribe. Old. Yellow.
There's nothing more to be said, I suppose. I wanted to know something else. I'm missing a journal. Have you seen it?
Dunno, some work feel you?
What? He wants to know if somebody robbed you. Probably what happened. I see. How did you get to look like that?
We're good at disguise. We also got scars. We wear lots of embalming fluid. Make me good zombie.
The zombie giggles through stitched lips, then taps his head.
Dusty stupid.
Yeah, they're the stupid ones, alright. The sarcasm is evidently lost on the zombie, who nods eagerly.
Stupid dusties. Me make good zombie.
Doesn't that hurt? He looks at your scars.
I'll ask you same question. Me, it not hurt much.
He claps his chest.
Me tough.
That disguise is pretty good. Can you disguise me as a zombie? He looks you up and down for a few moments, mumbling to himself, then nods.
Uh-huh. Me need a jar of embalming fluid.
He points at the scars on your chest.
And some needle and thread.
I'll think about it. I had some other questions. I wonder if you can only get the one set of each. How can I escape from here?
You can escape the portals.
He waves his hands. Poof! Portals? What portals?
Portals.
The zombie waves around the air.
Portals everywhere.
Can you show me one of these portals? He's silent for a moment, then nods slightly, as if in understanding.
Why should I help you?
Well, maybe we could help each other. What do you want in return?
I need you to get a key for me. One iron key for the embalmer's room.
Okay, where is this key?
Our dusty shit has it.
He points at his eyes.
She has yellow eyes.
He then makes a motion with his hands that reminds you of a pair of cutting shears.
Blades on fingers.
A Dustwind woman with yellow eyes and blades on her fingers. I already met her in the embalming room. Hold on, I'll be back with the key shortly.
Updated my journal.
The zombie squints at you.
If you're caught, don't say anything about me, or me gut you in your sleep.
I'll get the damned key, but you'd best watch your threats, you hear me? Okay, so we've got a little quest, which I'm guessing that we could either give him the embalming fluid and the needle and we could get out, or we can give her the embalming fluid and the needle and get the key, and then give it to him and get out. So that's probably the better way to do it. Anyway, now that we have another quest, we'll go ahead and call it an episode here. And the next one, we'll head in there. There's a lot of talking in this game, I do know that much. So, it will take us a while to get to certain places at times. See you guys in the next episode.